Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. The Prophet peace be upon him has decreed that preemption is valid in all cases where the real estate concerned has not been divided, but if the boundaries are established and the ways are made, then there is no preemption. A man said, preemption is only for the neighbor, and then he makes invalid what he has confirmed. He said, if someone wants to buy a house and being afraid that the neighbor, of the house, may buy it through preemption, he buys 1 share out of 100 shares of the house and then buys the rest of the house, then the neighbor can only have the right of preemption for the first share but not for the rest of the house, and the buyer may play such a trick in this case. Narrated by Amr bin Ash'arid. Al-Miswar bin Makrama came and put his hand on my shoulder and I accompanied him to Sa'd. Abu Rafi said to Al-Miswar, won't you order this, means Sa'd to buy my house which is in my yard. Sa'd said, I will not offer more than 400 in installments over a fixed period. Abu Rafi said, I was offered 500 cash but I refused. Had I not heard the Prophet peace be upon him saying, a neighbor is more entitled to receive the care of his neighbor, I would not have sold it to you. The narrator said, to Sufyan, Ma'mar did not say so. Sufyan said, but he did say so to me. Some people said, if someone wants to sell a house and deprived somebody of the right of preemption, he has the right to play a trick to render the preemption invalid. And that is by giving the house to the buyer as a present and marking its boundaries and giving it to him. The buyer then gives the seller 1,000 dirham as compensation, in which case the preemptor loses his right of preemption. Narrated by Amr bin Ash'arid. Abu Rafi said that Sa'd offered him 400 mithqal of gold for a house. Abu Rafi said, if I had not heard Allah's Messenger peace be upon him saying, a neighbor has more right to be taken care of by his neighbor, then I would not have given it to you. Some people said, if one has bought a portion of a house and wants to cancel the right of preemption, he may give it as a present to his little son and he will not be obliged to take an oath. Narrated by Abu Humayd as-Sidi. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him appointed a man called Ibn al-Lutabiyya to collect the zakat from Bani Sulaim's tribe. When he returned, the Prophet peace be upon him called him to account. He said, to the Prophet, this is your money, and this has been given to me as a gift. On that, Allah's Messenger peace be upon him said, why didn't you stay in your father's and mother's house to see whether you will be given gifts or not if you are telling the truth? Then the Prophet peace be upon him addressed us, and after praising and glorifying Allah, he said, Amabadu, I employ a man from among you to manage some affair of what Allah has put under my custody, and then he comes to me and says, this is your money and this has been given to me as a gift. Why didn't he stay in his father's and mother's home to see whether he will be given gifts or not? By Allah, not any one of you takes a thing unlawfully, but he will meet Allah on the day of resurrection, carrying that thing. I do not want to see any of you carrying a grunting camel or a mooing cow or a bleating sheep on meeting Allah. Then the Prophet peace be upon him raised both his hands till the whiteness of his armpits became visible, and he said, O Allah! Haven't I have conveyed your message? The narrator added, my eyes witnessed and my ears heard that hadith. Narrated by Abu Rafi. The Prophet peace be upon him said, the neighbor has more right to be taken care of by his neighbor, than anyone else. Some men said, if one wants to buy a house for 20,000 dirhams, then there is no harm to play a trick to deprive somebody of preemption by buying it, just on paper, with 20,000 dirhams, but paying to the seller only 9,999 dirhams in cash, and then agree with the seller to pay only 1 dinar in cash for the rest of the price, means 10,001 dirhams. If the preemptor offers 20,000 dirhams for the house, he can buy it, otherwise he has no right to buy it. By this trick he got out of preemption. If the house proves to belong to somebody else other than the seller, the buyer should take back from the seller what he has paid, means 9,999 dirhams and 1 dinar, because if the house proves to belong to somebody else, so the whole bargain deal is unlawful. If the buyer finds a defect in the house and it does not belong to somebody other than the seller, the buyer may return it and receive 20,000 dirhams, instead of 9,999 dirham plus 1 dinar, which he actually paid. Abu Abdullah said, so that man allows, some people, the playing of tricks amongst the Muslims, although, the Prophet peace be upon him said, in dealing with Muslims one should not sell them sick animals, or bad things or stolen things. Narrated by Amr bin Ash'arid. Abu Rafi sold a house to Sa'd bin Malik for 400 mithqal of gold, and said, if I had not heard the Prophet peace be upon him saying, the neighbor has more right to be taken care of by his neighbor, than anyone else, then I would not have sold it to you.